Welcome to the Coalport Borough Council meeting March 5th, 2018. The councilors will be entering, and you are welcome to view the Coalport Borough Council meeting at 7:00 p.m. Thank you for viewing. At the end of this presentation, there will be some questions, and we invite you to make comments or answer questions by sending your opinions to visionpress@windstream.net.
Do I need another copy of the...
We're probably going to go a little beyond that, so just get up, Kathy, when you have to go. It's a long agenda, and I'll do my best to move swiftly. You do a job at that, Paul.
It said you do a good job at it. Keeping us going.
I do, don't I? I feel bad about bombarding you with email.
It's all right.
I just feel it's either that or you're not. I don't
Get a million of them a day anyhow.
Yeah.
Half of it's junk.
I try to keep it to the minimum. But what are you going to do? I'm going to ask you if you want to say a few words about
Yes.
I don't have one.
Okay, you don't have one? Alright. Here, you can take mine, and I will go run off another
Does the
one.
mayor have one there?
She has one. Is she coming tonight?
No.
Oh, well then just take hers. That'll work. I'll take mine.
She's a floor dog.
Kelvin, somehow I don't know you. I knew your brother. I was gone from the area for 40 years.
I was
Did I mention what happened to me?
I was in the service for 12 years. I enjoyed that.
And I have now years on you, and I knew I'm 65.
Yeah, I
and
have
knew
extra
Bobby
copies of
Diesel
the agenda. I just don't have extra
I had
copies of
already
the...
Yeah, I don't
left
need
the
the rest.
area.
I'm a year younger than
Because he played ball with my brother. That's how I knew him. Maybe, did you know Zip? Bill Supers? Played ball? Well, somehow I met Bobby and never meeting you, at least where I was.
Yeah, probably not.
I don't know. 40 years, jeez.
No, I worked
Hello.
for the prison system for 22 years. And did all the meetings.
Okay, now you're
I'm retired, so good.
Thank you. Good goodness. All right. You about ready?
Extra copies of the agenda.
Did you in there? I have that extra email I sent you today, so from that. Did you get the email I sent today from Whetstone, Jessica?
You sent it today?
Yes.
I haven't even opened the mail. I haven't been home in about 12 minutes today.
Oh, good Lord.
I was in that room.
Shall we call this meeting to order?
There's nothing about it.
Call to order? You want to do our moment of silence?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, Jerry, I almost had you up there. That would have been good for your ego, huh? Everybody's had a chance to review the minutes, I hope.
Everybody was email.
Everybody email, I hope the rest of them.
See if they have her from the other time.
Anybody need a minute for the minutes? You got them, Jeff? You read them? Kathy, you're okay for the minutes? Okay, motion to accept the minutes or amend the minutes? Do additions, deletions?
I make a motion we accept the minutes.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor? Everybody?
Aye.
No opposed? Okay.
Roll
That takes
call.
us- Sorry, oh yes, roll call, we're
Oh.
back by popular demand,
Sorry.
sorry. She has it written down, so just go through our names real quickly. You go right around.
President Paul Zupich, Vice President Joe Adams,
Here.
Barbie Trent, here. Kathy Oshel, Ken Swatter,
Here.
Jack Bruce.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff. We'll move on to the finance report here. Before we accept that, there should be a couple things that jump out. I don't want to be the one to point that out. So on the expenditure side, if you look through that, the only reason I'm doing it this way, I'll take volunteers to point out, there's three things that you should ask a question about. So anybody that wants to fire away. I'm not saying they're wrong, I'm just saying that go over this. There's three things that I would see right away that I would inquire about. All right, very good. That's exactly it. So we would pay quarterly?
Yes.
Why? But that's good. That's where I'm going. So there's nothing in there.
It's every 3 months and that would be paid.
Okay, that was it. That would be number one.
Environment, fire fees, also.
You know that there is something interesting about that. That's good that you brought that one up also. Angel, you and I talked about the EMC insurance.
Yes, that was the one we were.
You put
back
that.
and forth on.
I'm going to leave this up to all of you. I would personally like to see that in fire fees, just so I know how much money goes to that fire company. It belongs, it's fine where she put it. She has it in EMC insurance. But at some point, like we're reviewing everything else.
Is that for their workman's comp?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't go to the fire company, that's for the workman's comp.
Yes, I know, but it's a cost. The fire company is costing us that money. I'd like to see that all at one time. That would be my preference. Unless any of you object, I would have her put it there.
Since there's questions about it, and it's not exactly fire fees, and it is insurance, would you be able to put it under workman's comp or?
Well, it's there. Yes, she rightfully has it in. You can put it there, and my only argument is, I like to know how much that fire company is costing us.
Okay.
It's clearer to me if I see that.
Then, I don't think it's under fire fees, it says it's not a fire fee. But I can understand putting it under, workman's comp fire protection.
Well, you know that, right? On her books, that's how it's set up. So
We
whatever.
have it split, I know, Paul, we have it split between our workers' comp and theirs, because they're have that Act 40.
Right, there's two completely
Yes.
different
Right,
policies.
right.
Two separate policies.
That cancer thing that they can.
I
Before,
don't
Paul-
want to put too fine a point on that.
But
I'll give you
before, let me back up a minute. Before, that was all one. And then the state legislature passed this,
I
and now
got
we
all
have two
that.
separate.
Right, I understand all that. I just like to know what that fire company costs us, which is considerable. You can see that's one of our higher line items. There's $10,000 going to that fire company that does not include this. And how much does this stuff cost us a year?
It varies. I mean,
So those are things I like to know specifically. If it were up to me, I would show it
It's
under fire fees.
$10,000
You want to
total
break
amount?
down line by line.
I would say
Yes,
10,000.
it's line by line on her books.
I think
So
it's
yes, we don't need it. Here's
Well,
how we look.
we took part of that.
Yes, you do receive,
Yes.
a percentage from White Township and Victoria
Yes.
Township later in the year.
Here's the way it would show up. It's like you see gross wages here, but on her spreadsheet, she sees each employee's name. We don't see that. We don't need to see that.
Yeah.
But at some point, if I wanted to look at wages, I would ask her, and I would see everybody's wages. Now, I would like to do the same thing with fire fees. There'll be time will come, and I want to look into this very carefully. I want to know where all the money goes. And I'd like that to be broken down so I can analyze how much are we spent, is that fire company costing us. I'm not suggesting we cut anything. I just like to see where the money goes. So it's up to, I'm leaving that up to you. I'll work my way through it one way or another. So we don't have to make a decision now. If it's agonizing for you, you can leave it go. I want to mention that. Go ahead. There's two more things there. And I'll give you a clue. They don't have zeros. These are actual numbers that are in front. That don't look right. Or at least will raise a question.
For February for equipment maintenance, how did we get, was it, oh, okay, that had to be the piece we bought. It was neglect, that was neglect and not, that was not a wear item.
Yeah, that was not.
Street
yeah.
lights.
Doubled.
There you go. That is, can you explain that one? We went from 992 to 1635.
I was gonna explain.
That's the
how
bill.
That's how the bill came. And they've been being paid online now, so it's not like, they're late, because they get paid. They're actually paid ahead, so.
Yes, I know, right. So you're saying it went up. They read the meters
There's no
Yes.
way that it should have went
No.
down. I can see
Is
that.
it way?
I
Or-
don't think that they heard the meters.
No, can it be estimated?
My employee, or my electric bill was almost double what it was last week.
Oh, okay, so we will check,
They're
see if
still-
it's estimated.
Yeah.
Again, we don't need that answer right now.
I can't speak for the streets, but homes were estimated in February.
Okay, that could very well be the problem right there, that they just estimated it incredibly high. Yeah. Incredibly high. They play those games. All right, one more. There's nothing we can do about that, but at least you raised that question.
Street maintenance in
Well, in the interest of time, let me give you, just look at water and sewage. It went from 185 down to 82, roughly. Now that's kind of odd. Is there a one missing there, would you say?
$100.
No, I think what happened with that one, I can explain that one.
Okay.
Usually they send all the bills at once, and in January, I believe it was January, they missed one, so we got it later, and it was actually paid in February. But, like,
Why is it?
we got it, like, remember I showed you it was in an envelope, they just sent it in an envelope by itself, because it had been broken in half and
Okay.
mailed.
It's just hard to understand why it's $81 as opposed
Yeah,
to $180.
because January, you're always, kind of paying behind, like when you pay in March, you're paying through February and stuff.
At one time we had credit, so I didn't know
Yeah,
if it
we
was
did
that or
have-
not.
we
We had some
have-
credit at one time.
We have $900 of credit at this point on some of them. But the one I
On some.
know, it didn't come, the 1 month in January, we only got 3, we should have gotten 4. And I did call Michelle and she said she would look into it, and then kind of way towards the end of February, it just came in a little envelope.
So it's
half
right,
there.
everything's okay,
Yes.
it is what it is.
Yes.
Okay, and we have a motion to approve the bills for the month of February of $10,604.37. You second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And that's $4,000 difference from January to February.
Yes. And from if you looked at December, it was 20,000. So it's not even across here. Both our revenue and expenditures are lumpy. It's not a smooth trail.
There's nothing, you can't predict one month to the other to be even within.
Other than even wages, you can because there's different pay periods. All right, we're going back to June. All right, that takes us now. We have another one here. We have to approve the flood project finance report. Is that in here?
Yes, it's very simple, it's very vague, but it's based off what information I have right now.
Page back.
Yes.
Honestly,
Yes. It's
You have
a
bills and no
little
money?
here.
basically,
Now, there is no money in the account. Is that
there's
right?
$32.77.
$32. All right, so these are the expenditures that when money in there. Jessica she writes the proposal, so she's apparently pretty confident that there's money going to flow into this account. And she will then be paid, and the attorney will be paid. So for a total of $2,500.
So these are two different expenditures.
Yes, yes. And actually, they've occurred over the course of, this isn't just this month.
No, this is for the year.
This year?
This right here is all for the year.
For this year,
Yes.
since January. So
We have
we're-
not had activity in that account since 2015. No money has come out, no money has gone in. Since 2015.
So that's 2017 bill.
2000, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
All for the levy, all
Yes.
for the flood project here, which is, and I have more to say about this once we go through this later on. So what we have to do is approve the expenditures of $2,502.58 year-to-date is what we're doing. This is separate from our health, or for anybody's benefit. This is different than the other budget. It's a separate pot of money, and we do not mix the two. So it's all for the levy, basically. And in order for that levy to be completed, they have to bring in more money. Right now, there is no money. So what we're saying, we approve these bills by Jessica and by the attorney, and they deserve to be
They'll
paid.
just have to be.
They have to wait.
When we get.
Yes.
When we get funds, we will pay them.
Yes, we will not pay them out of our borough operating budget.
I make a motion that we will pay when the funds come available. This will be for the flood project with the levy of $2,502.58 when it comes available.
We're just basically approving these bills, the same as we do with the other ones. We will pay them. Who has check writing privileges on that account? You?
I believe it's myself, the vice president.
Joe, okay, so both of you?
Yeah.
All right, so you guys have the authority to write out a check when there's money in there and you can pay these bills. All right, so that's enough said on that.
Was there a second on that?
I need a
No,
second.
there was not, sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now, the next thing on our list, this may not be on your agenda, but I forgot this. Mike Niebaur resigned. Since we have Calvin here, we can accept his resignation. If you would like me to read his letter, I would. If not, I need a motion to say we accept his resignation.
Well, we regretfully, will accept
Yes.
his resignation.
Okay,
But regretfully.
that's your motion?
Yeah.
Second? Kevin? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, now, I sent you all some stuff too on our insurance today.
All right.
I'm sorry, I did not have a
Time
chance
to
to
read
read
it.
that
Okay, well,
today.
I just lost these and stuff here. We talked about dropping the PC insurance on the Forest Street building.
Correct.
And there's other things we have discussed, and maybe we should decide those things too, like to raise the deductible on this building from $250 to $1,000. We could do that. We could eliminate the excess first-party benefits that we have on everything. We talked about that. These first-party benefits the law requires we have in addition, and we get no benefit from that because the workers are covered by workers' comp. So it's not a lot of money, but it's money wasted, in my opinion. And the third thing here, we talked about this borrowed auto coverage, where if you're driving your vehicle, and we concluded that you would be covered by your own insurance. And his argument was, you can insure against anything you want. The probability of something happening and then you're in an accident.
They're not going to double pay.
No.
There's no way. That's like having insurance with two different
I
companies.
would say that. So I would say drop that as well. Individually, these things don't amount to a whole lot, but collectively, when you start adding it up, there is some money involved, and our budget's pretty tight.
Yeah.
So now, I don't know if I covered too much there.
No.
What are we looking for savings by doing that?
Not a whole lot, as he wrote it up. Now, I think there'll be more. We're going to do this a little differently. Once we know exactly what we want, we'll throw a lot of money here. We'll bid. We'll have 3 insurance companies provide us a bid, apples to apples, on exactly the same thing. But we have to know what we want first. And with the new information, I have some of that. We can talk about that. Not here. It wouldn't be right then. It would take too long. But we're not going to save a whole lot individually, but we will save some. And we dropped, that insurance thing was padded. They had a damn trailer out there that they didn't own. They were paying for it. Was full insurance, comprehension, collision, first party benefits, lots of stupid stuff. So I would whittle this down until we can rethink the whole thing, all of our insurance needs, decide everything we need, put a policy together, and then get bids on it. And then I think we'll see some savings, would be my guess.
I think we jumped into that.
Yeah. I think you should have to bid like anybody else.
And we only had one other guy.
Yes.
And we probably should have.
We are insurance poor. If you look at the amount of money that goes out of this place on insurance, after we pay our insurance, we have nothing left.
But he was cheaper than that as well.
Yeah.
Some of that, though, that process
Right.
wasn't fair, though. I mean, everybody should have to bid at one time, and then we look at it and we take the lowest bid. You don't get a low bid and then tell that guy, give that guy a chance to underbid it. That, in my mind, that's not right. I'll give him the chance
Even
to
though he was
compete.
local,
Yeah, but so are we. We're local. As I see it, we weren't given any favors here. The cost of friendship seems mighty high to me. That's how I see it. Based on, it's business, right. And it came down pretty darn quick, $2,000 or something,
Yeah.
just by getting that other guy involved.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, what's your thought on those three things? I would drop the coverage entirely on the Forest Street building, raise the deductible on this building to $1,000 from $250, eliminate excess first-party benefits, and get rid of the borrowed auto coverage.
Well, I thought we were
You-
going, I do, up to a point, but weren't we going to leave liability on the?
Oh, yes. We're
Okay.
just talking,
Okay, I
yes.
just wanted to make sure.
yes, just property and casualty on the building. We definitely need liability down there with a great big sinkhole.
Right.
Okay.
Kathy has a motion to accept all those things. Any seconds? Second? In favor?
Aye.
Aye? Okay. We can always undo this stuff. Here's part of it. We're going to make mistakes. You know we're going to make mistakes. Hopefully we won't leave those mistakes run. We'll fix them. So if we found out we did something stupid, then we'll do something stupid eventually. We'll try to undo it. Okay, that takes us down to employee layoffs. Ken has requested to be laid off because he only gets 10 hours a week. And we can't give him 20. It's just not in the cards.
It's not in the budget to do it.
No.
Not even in that.
Well, do you have anything you want to say? That's as I understand it. Would you want to say anything about that?
Yeah, he mentioned that to me.
I'm straight on that? That's what he told me.
I talked to him.
Okay, all right.
It's Ken, right?
Okay, we are,
Marble, yeah.
Marvel. Okay, so are we good with laying him off then?
Yes.
Need a motion.
I make a motion, we leave them on.
Second. All in favor?
That's the second.
Got it. All in favor?
Aye.
One question, if we need him, though, we're gonna call him in as
Yes.
an
He's
independent,
not gonna
right?
be around here. He's going to South Carolina.
Oh, I know, he talked about it.
Right,
going.
he has.
He's going. He's gotta go. He'll be within a week. He'll probably be down there.
Okay. If not, I think that would be a heady move to call him,
Right.
save us a lot of money, as he already has. Okay, then we have, that takes us down to the resolution for the sale of small items worth $1,000 or less. Do you have that here by chance? Is that in this stuff, Angel?
No, I don't have that one printed off.
All right.
I grabbed that one back.
I can read
Yeah,
it.
if you,
I hate reading it now. See if I can locate it here.
okay.
Help me. Sorry, it's taking a little long to find things. Okay, also, we'll need, I wouldn't know what this resolution number will be. So you don't need to get that now, you put it right in, all right. So it says basically on March 5th, 2018, council adopted resolution whatever pursuant to section 1201.2 paragraph B of the Pennsylvania Borough Code. The resolution allows borough management to sell surplus personal borough property, either individual items or lots of items, of an estimated fair market value of less than $1,000 without the approval of Borough Council. All right, items shall be advertised for sale once in at least one newspaper of general circulation, not less than 10 days prior to the date scheduled for the opening of bids or public auction. The date of opening bids or public auction shall be announced in the advertisement, and the sale of property advertised shall be made to the best responsible bidder. So that enables us to work a little faster. If you have junk here, these guys can sell it without having to come to us. It's a small ticket item. Any questions on it? Any discussion needed?
As long as we know where the money goes.
Yes. As long as money goes here, we're
Going to
cool.
the general council.
Yeah, if it's over 1,000, they need our approval to do it. Motion?
With the resolution for the sale of items worth less than $1,000 or under $1,000 to go ahead and be able to sell them.
Second.
And advertise them once in the paper.
All right, yeah, just as I said, just do what you have to. Barbie, second, all in favor? Aye.
Sorry, roll call. Roll call on,
Roll call for resolutions, I believe.
Yes, all right, thank you. Bill Henry.
President Zupas.
Yes.
Vice President Adam.
Yes.
Margaret Trent.
Yes.
Kathy Oshel. Kevin Slaughter.
Yes.
Jack Rope.
Yes.
Okay.
So, yeah, I guess you're not sworn in, the mayor isn't here.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so
He's got all his other, I gave him his paperwork.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Jack. Okay, where's that taking here? Okay, resolution. Okay, now we're down to something, we're back to this flood project again. In order to apply for a grant, there's a $100 filing fee, which if we don't get the grant, we still don't get it back. So I guess we're going to have to approve.
If we get the grant though, is it refunded?
No, we do not get it. They feel that's
Right.
our contribution. I brought something else up. I mentioned this here before. I thought we should be able to book administrative time, and she claims in these grants you cannot. She gets paid quite well for doing that, but we do not get paid, and that's supposedly our contribution. Since, but anyway, yeah.
For the good of the company.
We're probably going to have to do the $100. I mean,
It's one-time fee, right?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. If it brings in a good chunk of change, and she's pretty good at this. She does seem to get
She's
them.
pretty confident that this has got to go through, because if she wants her legal fee money and
Yes,
stuff,
yeah, her
that's
$1,400.
basically how this is going to work about. So
This thing, everybody makes money on this except us, and it'll go on for 20 years. Just lining. She bills $1 a minute, for example. She'll call me on the phone. It took me a while to figure this out. If she talks to me for 40 minutes, there's $40. And the lawyer's the same way. Lots of people, we'll talk about this archaeological dig that has to occur. This will be very slow-mo. I don't know when it gets completed, but a lot of other people will make money, and it won't be us.
right.
But that's the way it is. So let's deal with a $100 filing fee. I need a motion to say.
I'll make the motion that the borough goes ahead and pays a $100 filing fee, so that Jessica Sheets can start to apply for a grant for the flood project, just get us some extra money for it.
Second? All in favor? Aye. Okay, now there's some more to this. I just sent some of you an email today. I just got from her. Joe, you'll have to see this. There are easements required. They have to do, you all know about, most of you probably know more about this than I do, since I'm kind of a Johnny-come-lately here. They have to do an archaeological study, right? And so that requires, I think it's 5 different places where they're going to dig. She sent me a map. Maybe nobody has had a chance to see this yet. But I think some of this property apparently is borough property. So
I didn't see the map, but I saw the letter she sent.
there's something that an attachment that you have to open. And there's a bunch of maps in there. And we're going to have to look at this. Now, she also told me there are 10 property owners. You know who they are? Approximately 10 property owners that have to give permission, I guess, or we have to get an easement from them so that we can go onto their property.
We're sure of the one that's down, where we did the walk down below there.
Do you know who? I have no idea who these people would be. Is there anybody here? I can ask her.
I have a pretty good idea who, probably at least 3 or 4, maybe 5 of them.
All right, this is going to fall on to management. It would be best if you have her email address.
No, I don't.
I'll
can
get
it
that.
off.
Okay.
If you don't, I can get it off the bank.
All right, you'll get it right there. I would find out who the 10 are. Did you see your email? You have a copy of the forms that we have to say. So they're on the computer. You just make the copies as needed. Now, these
Kathy was
things.
with the understanding that we already did this. That we already have a archaeological thing.
I don't know anything. That's why I said I'm a Johnny-come-lately to this
That's
issue.
where
I
they're
don't
going.
know.
You realize this is where they're going to go, and they're going to either bore, or they're going to dig with a track hoe or something to
Yes.
see if there's any arrowheads or anything like that.
In 5 different locations, I think on borough property.
Not that I know of. We needed an easement to move. Now we did the
Utility poles.
easements to move relocate the water and sewage.
Where they had to be encased in cement, we did those ones, but those are a separate easement. I do know that part. I don't think we ever did the ones for where
No.
they look for
Yeah, not according to her, that's still coming up.
I don't think we ever did.
Okay,
The part Kathy might be thinking about when we had to encase everything in concrete that was
Yes.
and
Right,
moved certain
here,
ways.
now, you have to have things notarized, that's not free, right? You're gonna have to go take these people, and I assume somebody, the person shouldn't have to pay that fee. The property owner should not. Now, since there is no money in the flood project, we're not talking a great sum of money, I would say do that, and then we bill the flood project just like Jessica and the lawyer did. We want that money back.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that would take board approval to decide, does the board pay the notary fees and then recover the money, or do you not want to pay the notary fees? Then the whole thing is on hold until the money is actually in the account. And that's pretty much a decision that we have to make collectively.
I guess we're gonna find out what the total fees are gonna be.
Well, what would they be? How much does it cost to have something notarized? $10?
$5, $10.
$5?
Yeah, $5.
$5, all right, so each person, so you
so what
said
we
there's
were-
10 people, $50.
Yeah, what we were doing also is that we took these papers to a person. We'll just say, for instance, I took this, let's just say it. I took this over, I gave this to Kelvin. But in the meantime, I also give him a return envelope that when he had this all done, it was already self-addressed back to the borough, had a stamp on it. We've got better results doing that than if the person has to fill a bunch of stuff out, put their own stamp on it. We've got better results
All right.
and stuff coming back.
Let's do, you know the system, and you're gonna be in charge of it, so you can do whatever it is that you feel works. I just wanna cover them.
That seemed to work better for us.
You're in charge of that now, it just still comes down to, we're gonna spend $50 roughly as I got this. Are we gonna spend it, or are we just gonna spend the $50 from borough money and then bill the flood project?
I
That, I have
say,
no problem with that.
yeah, I
Yes.
think we should just.
We'll get it
moving along.
Yes, I'm with you, I need a motion. Motion to,
Hold up a minute,
okay,
we still have discussion.
okay. You're allowed, would it be easier, was that from you, Jerry?
Yeah, Mr. President, I didn't know if you allowed.
We're pretty
individuals-
flexible here, it'd be easier if we just heard from you,
I was in contact with Doug Hill,
okay?
and he told me that he was bringing easement rights and several other items for you to adopt. And I'm surprised he hasn't done it yet. He told me it was the next month. That was during that one flood. Remember when the Myers Run
Yes,
overtopped?
yes.
That was in July.
And I was in contact with him, and he told me, he gave me a whole dissertation that I gave to the mayor. So if she didn't share that with you, but Doug Hill is the chief, he was at that time, of the Department of Waterways and Engineering. So I know you're going through a third-party entity through Jessica
Yes,
Sheets.
no, she's doing, here's what's happening here, she is now doing the legal work.
Yeah, well, it's already done in
Yes.
DEP. All you have to do is adopt it.
Okay, so we can't do it now, obviously, we're not up to speed, we wouldn't know what we were doing.
But Doug Hill, and I have his email if you want to email him and all that. I keep in
All
touch
right.
with the Waterways
All
and Engineering.
My flood really didn't have anything to do with
The levy here.
the levy.
That's, okay, that might be it, we're talking strictly the levy here.
Yeah,
at the
that's
moment.
what he's coming to do. I thought by now you've already received all that.
Nothing? Nothing, to me personally, anyway.
One word to him by email and he'll shower you with a lot of things.
All right, well, let's go with what we have, with what the situation as we know it. I know we're going to be doing those easements, and I know people have to have some stuff notarized. And it's going to cost us $50, and I think what you're all saying is let's pay the $50 and bill the flood. Let's just deal with that issue for the moment. Okay, all right, so we need a motion to say we're going to pay. Who did? Joe did, or we need a second. Kathy seconds. All in favor of paying the $50 notary fees? Aye. Okay, so we've resolved. The other one, we're just going to have to take up when we get the information. And I think they'll do it at their speed. Eventually it'll happen, but they kind of nurse us through it. You know, they walk us through every step. So I think it'll get to that step, and somebody will just say, Paul, do this, and then I'll do it.
If you're one
Go ahead.
new subject, if you want your counselor on, I can swear him in.
Yes. Great.
And then he can,
You're-
he's fully active then, but he has to have his oath with you.
He has that.
I have an affidavit of residency. Do you have
The resident, so we don't have the copy of the oath.
I
Do
think
you?
the mayor has copies. I don't know if I do or not. I need to look.
All right.
I have copies at my office, but I don't
Yeah,
have
you'd
them.
expect it. Well, that's
But
very
I can
kind of
swear
you.
him in, and then we can sign it afterwards if you want. If you
Yes,
want, and
we
if you
just
want to
should get
join.
that out of the way,
Yeah,
right?
we can do that.
Well, we don't.
I know the oath a little bit.
All right.
It's gonna hurt.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, where are we at here now? Okay, that takes us down to you, Barbie. You have a couple things that I think you could report on. One is I call it the ashtray grant.
Well, yeah, it actually is, to dispose of cigarette litter, within the borough. It's part of Clean Up America. And, I have a letter, which, Angel, I'm sorry I wasn't able to send you, I had a computer crash, but I need copies of letters to send to our, local businesses of, how many of these, the large cigarette stand ashtrays that they would like to dispose of, or dispose cigarettes in, so that we can keep our streets a little bit cleaner from cigarette and cigar litter. That grant was submitted last week. I'm still waiting to see, where we stand with that. I submitted a budget with the grant. We're looking at $5,000 to supply Coalport with these cigarette receptacles. Thank you very much. I would like to ask, since there's so many, Kathy wants to know who's going to take care of them. I would like to ask that the business owners at least empty them, but if they get destroyed or something happens to them where they need repaired, I think that maybe we as a borough should, and not burden our businesses with that. But emptying them, I don't see where emptying them would be a huge deal. But the letter will be sent to each of the business owners to see how many they would be interested in. Like if they have more than, one entrance, like Josie has a couple entrances, and, the medical center has 3 or 4 entrances.
Well, it's in their best interest too, keeps
Right.
their property clean.
Right, so we're gonna, fill everybody out and see. And if you don't wanna participate, nobody, we're not gonna
Right.
force your arm to do it.
All right. Job well done, by the way. Thank you.
We
Appreciate it.
may even be able to have a few extra, like you said, if some would get destroyed, we may have a few extra, or even if we
replace
have the top to replace
Well,
with
Bill,
that way.
Right.
Your next one's even more interesting, I think. Ordinance enforcement.
I have been looking into the enforcement of ordinances and talked to our magistrate about what we can do. As far as the borough, we've had some issues within town that need to be handled and taken care of before it grows into a big problem. The enforcement of ordinances goes by our mayor or who we would appoint to enforce the ordinances. And what we have laid out in our ordinances is basically what we can find, what we can do. I was told even if these, we send out these letters and the people don't let us know, or answer the letters, we are within our rights to take it a step further and file charges with the magistrate's office. Now, he cannot help us, a whole lot with what we're to do because, he's going to be hearing these cases, so he has to stay neutral. But he said that what's laid out in our ordinances is what we go by, and that we can enforce, keeping our streets clean and, cars not sitting all over the place that are not being used, or dilapidated properties or whatever. We are within our rights to enforce that.
This, in my mind, is kind of a monumental move. Up to this point, we relied almost solely on voluntary, I guess, enforcement of the ordinances. That this, you get a letter and voluntary compliance is what
Right,
we're looking for.
right.
So if you threw it away, nothing happened, and everybody in town figures that out. Now, you're actually going to go the step farther. We'll have legal enforcement of our ordinances. We've never had that.
Correct.
So to me, that's have we?
Yes. Yes.
It's been a long time, hasn't it?
I've been drug in court multiple times.
But not here.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know that. All right.
Not lately.
No, lately.
I'm sorry to hear that. But I didn't know they enforced them out legally. I've never seen much evidence. I didn't know that.
It was dismissed, all of it.
The what?
All of them were dismissed.
Okay. All right. Well, the ordinances from the past were pretty shabby. You almost couldn't lose, could you?
I was taken to court on an ordinance that wasn't even in force. And I still have an objection to the fact that paperwork
Years
was
ago.
inserted into 112.
Yeah, see,
I have photographs of that.
we redid our entire ordinances. We codified them, they're logical, they're updated, they've been amended, so they're actually enforceable. That other garbage was not enforceable. I can't imagine anybody would do
It was never finished.
it. All right. So much for that. Anything else you wanted to say about enforcement or anybody?
Basically what I was told, like even if it came down to the point where we did file charges with the magistrate or whatever, the property owner or whoever we filed charges with, they still, are able to work with us and say, give me such and such a time. Like for instance, let's say that somebody had hired somebody to come in and clean up their lot. And for some reason, even though they paid this money or they hired these people, this didn't happen. We are within our right to, say,
Well,
okay,
yes.
you have so many days to take care of this.
We want to solve the problem,
Right.
not beat people up.
You want to solve the problem without being, it's kind of like a case-by-case situation where you want to solve the problem, but, there's,
But you do what you have to do. But
Right.
you want to use the minimum amount of force, and this is what I'm saying. All right. So much for that. Any other comments on?
Can I ask a question?
Yes. Glad.
Do they charge them, file these charges?
they do. However, what happens is, we pay the initial court cost. And then whenever the person goes to court, however the finding is, now, we would lose that if they were found not guilty or whatever is dropped. But whenever the fines are paid, all that court cost is taken into the fines and that person pays back
So
to the
we
borough.
have to have our ducks in a row.
Exactly.
In other words. And I think
Because
do we have-
we don't want to lose any more money than
Yes,
what's.
yes. So if we're going to do that, we better be sure we're going to win. That takes us, I'd like to hear an update from management. We start with you. We've made a lot of changes
Yes.
in the last couple of months.
Yes.
Can you tell us how they've worked out for you?
I think they're working okay. Online banking, it's still kind of poking around, learning
Too soon,
everything.
right.
Yeah, obviously with Ken's layoff, I think he's owed one more check if he moves. We'll get our first opportunity to set up direct deposit, and then that'll kind of set the way to set direct deposit for everybody else, which will be really nice. It's really nice to be able to just kind of go online and keep track and being sure what's coming in, what's going out.
So it's more efficient. You can see problems
It's more
sooner.
efficient. Yes, you can see it a lot sooner. Obviously, with the QuickBooks, sometimes QuickBooks will take money out for the monthly fees or whatever, and it does it on its own. It's really nice that I can see that immediately rather than finding out on a bank statement.
Right, you get a month
Month
later or
later.
something. By then, you can't even identify the problem.
Yeah, and then you have to try and go through and figure it out. So that's been working really well. I think all the hours have been working pretty good.
Okay.
I had gotten bumped up to 15 hours instead of 10 hours, I think.
So you get your job done.
Yes, so I'm having more time,
How
and
about,
with the workshops and everything.
we rely on email heavily. How's
Yes.
that part working for you? Good, bad, ugly?
It goes both ways. I know some of council don't have email, so it makes it a little tricky for them. But I can always, if they stop in.
How about for those of us that have?
For those that have
better
email,
for
it
us?
works. It's very efficient because I
Please.
can just, send an email and then I'm done with it, as opposed to if I had tried to call and couldn't get them and had to wait and call later. Or an email, you send it, they're going to get it whenever it's done, it's taken care of. It's really not a problem. Anybody that stops in and says, "Hey, I don't have email. What's going on?" I can always run off copies.
Have we done anything wrong that we should fix?
Not that I've noticed.
So far, so good.
Things have been okay.
All right.
So far, things have been good.
Along along those same lines, and I keep harping on this, there's still a couple things. We don't have everything fixed.
No, everything's
that
not
we want.
perfect, but things are getting a little more.
There's still two. I would still like to get that Northwest credit card for the same reason you mentioned. You have to wait a month till you get the bill, and by then you don't know what the problem is. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, you get receipts, obviously,
Yes.
which I always check,
But if
but
somebody did it, if there's a problem, at least with Northwest, you'll see that instantly. The
Not that,
moment
you
something
know,
happens.
obviously there's no one that I would say, oh, I don't trust him with a card.
I'm not saying
but
that, right.
it can happen. It would be
Yes.
very simple.
I just don't, I trust everybody, I'm not saying anyone's bad, I
Yeah.
just don't like to run the operation based on luck.
Right,
You know, I
because
like to have good internal controls so we don't have problems. No, I'd like it,
simple too.
we've been over this, so I'm just gonna ask, I would like, if there's 4 of you that would like to get a Northwest credit card, I think that would be a benefit to us as opposed to the Minuteman cards that we're presently using. Do I have a motion?
What question? What did we find out about the fuel?
As far as what I talked to when I called, as far as they know, it should be okay to still register it under our EIN.
Yes, we have.
Because our EIN, which is what makes it so that we do not pay taxes, is inclusive to the borough itself, and it doesn't really have anything
Matter
to do
how we
with,
pay, right.
with where or how you pay.
Yeah, we use
It's
any
just-
card as long as it's in our name and has the employee
Yes.
identification.
Yes.
So we're okay. It's just, those cards are crappy, and you have to wait a month. And she's described that problem. I don't know what else to say, so it's up to all of you now. I'm for it, if anybody else is. We need a motion, so let's take a vote on it, lay this thing to rest one way or another.
Yeah. They are good with it, and you are actually.
As far as they know, they can pay card, which I would do when I file for a card.
Right.
That's-
Obviously, if we use it once and see that the taxes are still on there, I
Well,
would
you
only
can use
pay.
it, yeah.
Or we won't use it
Yeah,
anymore.
Which we'll know
But-
that right away.
We should
Yes.
know right
We should
away.
know that
Yes,
right away.
it'll work. I'm quite certain.
Bearing in mind that, if the guys go to Leo's, they don't have a card, they purchase their items and Leo's puts it on the account. Leo's just has our EIN number, so I mean.
Right, it works there.
It
Right,
works
that's how it
there,
works.
it
That
works
number's
at dollar
key.
store, yeah.
We
as
never
long
get,
as-
we don't.
And
never
I want to
get-
minimize
Yeah.
all that. I want
Yeah.
one card. And just it's easier, and she
Yeah.
can use this Northwest for the regular banking. She can see everything at Northwest site. It just makes
In other
logical
words,
sense.
if
Right?
we get stuff at the dollar store, we would use that one also there.
Yes,
Yes.
use it everywhere,
You would use
and
it
we'll get
everywhere.
rid of the other cards. We want to get down to one card. At Minuteman, you can't use anywhere, but Northwest you can pretty much use anywhere, but we're going to do it.
And we
It's
can
just, it
still have the
simplifies.
sign
In other words,
Yes,
if
all the
they
same
went-
security
Yes.
things you have now, nothing changes. I think it's improved though.
Yeah.
But that you can see it
They went
instantly.
to Lucas's, they would just use it rather than having an
Yes.
account, the account
Yes.
set back.
Yes. And some of these are
Anywhere like
reward
that.
cards. You probably get something for using that card. I don't know about, I don't have a Northwest card specifically, but I tried to ask that question as a rewards card, and they weren't exactly sure, but my guess is it might be. So you make a little bit. Any more, we need any more discussion on this?
No.
So it's in-
I
it's
hadn't
down
got to talk to Angel about whether they.
One other benefit would be less bills coming in. I mean, you should just
Yes,
have one
you
credit
pay
card.
that, yes.
At the end of the month,
We've
it'd be
cut our
one bill
checks
as
cutting,
opposed to.
writing back considerably now, so
Yes.
that would be that much more.
Yes, yeah, it simplifies the operations that it does, and I think it makes us more accountable. More likely, the goal is to head off security problems as quick as you can. Anybody want?
I'll make the motion for it under the presumption the first time we buy fuel and everything, that it goes through, the taxes are taking off like they're supposed to be, and we can continue to use it that way. If everything works
Yeah,
out.
if there's problems, we won't use it,
we'll
yeah. You
have
can
to
always
work the
stop it, you
problem
can
out.
always cancel it. Nothing's carved in stone here, and I said if we make mistakes, we're going to fix those mistakes. Not fixing it is to make another mistake.
I make the motion and that we use the card, we'll see how things fall, if everything falls correctly, and we
You
can
can
continue
always
to
undo
use
it.
the card.
You can always come back and say it's not working. We do have a second. Kathy's a second. All in favor? Aye. Is that 4 of us? 1, 2, 3, 4? Okay. 4 in favor?
Opposed.
You're opposed, Barbie?
No.
You're in
I
favor?
was with I.
Oh, I didn't catch it. Okay. All right. 4, what, 5? 5 in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 opposed. All right. Now there's one more thing same lines that I want to bring up. Let's see if I can find this. Back to your finance report. I'm going to revisit that just momentarily. Down at the bottom, you notice she has something called the truck fund. That's $3,881.07. How that works, correct me here if I'm wrong. You take money from general revenue, you put it in that account, and then you make the truck payment. Is that right?
No.
I haven't put any money in yet. We're still.
Well, where does the money come from, is what I'm asking. You have to replenish that. Where are you going to get the money?
We haven't had to replenish it yet.
It would come from general fund.
That's my question, right
That's
there. It
where it
comes
would
from
come
general.
from.
So what you've done is you've added a link in the chain. You're taking it from general revenue here, you put it in another fund, you pay it, it still comes from general revenue. I have a hard time understanding. You see what I mean, Kevin, you with me on that? I don't quite understand that, why you would add an extra step there. That'd be like setting up a separate account to pay your water bill with, or another account to pay your electric bill.
It had
Didn't
to.
we have
It
to
had
for
to.
the grant?
It had to.
Okay, I know you're confused. Let me straighten this out. Whenever you get a grant, just like you have this grant for the loan, you cannot put the grant into general revenue. You have to keep that separate. You can't mix the two. Then you took that money from the grant and you paid that all in the truck. All that money's gone. Now you can pay. Now you're paying off a loan, and you can pay that from any account you want. The bank, whoever, USDA, or whoever you got that loan from, they have no idea what account that money's coming from. All they see is a number. That's all. You change that number, they'll never know. But you do not need a separate account to make the payments.
We would just have to make sure that they have
On
a
the
new number.
On the
Well,
loan
she'll go and
agreement.
she'll make she'll put a new number, and she'll take out this truck account, and she'll put the
It's a
general
separate-
revenue
It's a separate
account
bank.
in.
It's a different bank.
Okay, well, then
Okay, on the loan agreement, we had to open a separate account with automatic withdrawal for the loan payment.
For the
That
grant.
was in the agreement.
Well, then you'd have to show me that. You have.
I have all
Yes,
the-
I won't read it now, so I'll read that. You're fond of saying things I've noticed that don't come true.
Well,
Just
I'm
because
just
you
repeating
say
what was said
something,
by
I know
Judge
that. I'm
Stable.
saying I'm basing on your history here now. So I'm going to check that. So we will table that right now. You have those documents
Yeah, I
for
have
me?
a folder.
I will read
everything.
those documents. How about that? So we're tabled for the moment.
Why can't you allocate from general funds to this account?
You can.
Mr. Roop is correct,
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out. As far as I know.
in my opinion.
Yeah, I've pretty much checked around with lots of businessmen, and and a lot of those are in government. I haven't found one, including my rep, and I can't see why. So I've also done some checking with them. But we will check.
There's
That's
a
the best way to do it.
commingling, and that,
They're
as he
not
says, that
commingling. Well, it's still, Jerry, it's still coming from general revenue. The money comes from general revenue.
but you have to allocate it because you already budgeted your money.
And that
And so it
includes
has
that
to-
truck amount. Our budget includes from general revenue. This comes from general revenue. No matter how you cut it, you're taking it from general revenue. Now, if it were to say you can't pay from general revenue, that you have to pay from the flood project, for example, then we would have to have a separate account. But we are paying from general revenue.
We had some gold badges come here because we were commingling.
But we're not commingling. There's a difference here. We are not commingling money. This is general revenue, no matter how you cut it. If there's something wrong, we're committing fraud.
That's right.
Because you're taking from general revenue and you're giving the impression that you're paying from something else. It's all coming from, I'm not going to commit fraud, for one. So I will read this stuff. We will put it on hold another month or two. It isn't going to matter, but we'll check that out. All right, now, that takes me, is there any other business? Joe, I just wanted to hear from you.
Yes.
You heard from Angel. Okay.
What all do you want an update on? I can give
Well,
you
just-
an update.
Just keep it short. Just give us
Okay.
about 3 to 5 minutes and just
Okay,
tell
I'll
us.
keep it pretty simple.
Yeah, what's happening with work?
Angel and I went over, we have to have our CoStar salt contract in place by this month. And that would be that's for the 18-19 year. You have to apply now for 18, be the end of this year, and then 19. You have to make sure you have your contract in for the following year, basically. even though, you know, we usually will have salt left over, so we have that taken care of. I've been in contact with LTAP. I haven't got to talk to the right person yet, but I'm getting somewhere with it. So you get a foot in the door.
Right.
They're a little hard to get to work with, but
And that's the one where the engineer comes up.
yes. I want to see how
Whatever.
far we can go, how far they'll go with the engineering, you know, firm,
Okay.
or what all it will include on that. See what else. We're going to go ahead. I don't know. I know I don't even have to ask permission, but I want to let you know. We're going to go ahead and get some more coal for the building. Coal work really good, burning good, good burning coal, so we're going to go get a couple more loads of that. I found my paperwork, what we're going to need for our next workshop we're going to have for the prices for paving, our paving prices. I have that stuff all lined up for that. Of course, we already went over it, but I also had about, it'll probably be about a week, but Ken is going to go to South Carolina. He has some contacts down there, and he's going to get down there.
That was definite. No, I just want to say goodbye to him.
Yes, I said goodbye to him Friday. Wanted to know if he could use me for a reference, and I told him yes, so I gave him all the information that he needed for that. So, wish him the best of luck. You know that maybe he could get, or if he goes to get more hours, but this particular problem is going to still may want him down there as far as,
Yeah, Ken Brown.
his residence, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Basically, other than Angel gave a real good report, like I said,
You
we've
don't
cut our
have to,
checks.
yeah.
We've cut our checks writing down.
Is it
I
running
would say
smooth?
maybe probably by 2/3.
Is it running smooth, faster?
Oh my gosh, yes. It's not.
So you don't have to wait around for somebody to come and sign a check, for example.
Yeah, it's just she lets me know when, like I say, I'm up very frequently, pretty much every day.
Right.
And
All right.
I look, and if there's
Did we
anything
do
there, I
everything
go
wrong?
ahead and do it. I can't see this.
So far,
any
you're
of that
pleased.
thing. Everything's working pretty good that
Well, and
way.
we are pleased with you. Also,
Seems
by the way.
like-
Thank you.
I appreciate that. Everything
Is there-
seems like it's going pretty good that way. Like I said, I know we've cut considerably back on check writing.
All right. Let me move on then. Does anybody else have any other business?
The only thing
I'm
I
going to get to
have-
Jerry last.
I have one thing here,
Okay.
just that your liquid fuels for the year, for this upcoming year was released. And it went into the account on March 1st, and the amount that you got for this year was $26,259.55. You won't see that on your budget obviously till March because it
Right.
went in on March 1st, but it is in the account, so you do have that now. And at the end of the year, you already had decent amount left over.
Okay, that, we had 25,000 budgeted, so what did you say, 26,000?
We got,
26,259.
All right.
yes,
So I wasn't surprised.
yeah, so we did get a little more than budgeted.
And there's one other place I think on here. The money from the county. County aid, we had 3,000, you indicated we're actually going to get 9. So another
No,
place.
actually, it's 3, but we
You
just
got it from other years,
Yes.
right. Right.
There is one thing with that. Before the end of the month, I have to meet with Sean Augusta, and we're going to, at our next meeting, we're going to go over what streets we want to do. Sean is going to come up, we're going to go pick those and go over those, so that we can do this, so we don't lose any of it. If we don't, by the end of this month, we have a possibility of losing one of
So
them
we
years.
have to act fast, is
We're
what
gonna
you're
act-
saying.
We're going to act, yes. At
All
our
right.
next,
Okay, good.
workshop, we're gonna jump right on that right away.
Good. Will do. Anybody have anything else before we go to Jerry? Nothing else? Jerry, did you have anything?
Do you have policies and procedures, Mr. President, on time? Do I only have 5 minutes or
Well,
2 minutes?
How much do you need?
Well,
I don't want to go
out of
20 minutes.
out of courtesy to the council, I don't know whether everybody saw my
complaint, and then I amended the complaint, and then I just added an ancillary.
Can you summarize the problem?
I think the issue that I brought to council at the request of the mayor. The mayor called me and requested that, asked me about how can a non-resident have a position.
Okay.
And I looked at the code. The question before the law was, which has precedence?
Yes, it would be
The Borough Code, which is a state statute,
right, that it is.
or the Municipals Authority Act.
That one does, and a township it does, actually.
Well,
If you read that, it says it provides the authority to, it says that right in there.
in this council, I was on council for 8 years, and in this council, we vested permission for this authority to be developed and initiated. And so it was, I voted no. Like Mr. Root tonight voted no. I voted no because we were giving up our power.
Well, that's been done. That's already happened.
It is.
That's
It's a done and deal. So you're telling me before council, the president stated that this has been adjudicated through the law. I mean, my complaint has been adjudicated without a hearing. Is that correct?
We're not going to give you a hearing because we don't feel there's a
Rule 707 or 1707 says if you won't hold a hearing on a petition that comes before you, I have the right to go to common pleas court.
So you're fine with that? Go
Yes.
right ahead.
Yeah.
We have no problem.
I know.
Okay.
But how did we get the water? Does anybody know how we got the water?
I don't know any of that. I'm going to limit the discussion just to appointing Mike. The law here, that was the proper act to follow, and it says, governing body, and it explains why it is the authority there. And we have their attorney, BCIMA's attorney, looked at this, as well as our attorney looked at this, and they claimed that we followed the law. Before I ever did anything, I sent that copy of the law to all these board members. We all read it, and it's easy. We felt we did what we had to do. If you want to go to court, I'll look at it.
Will you respond to mine
No.
in writing?
No, we'll give you, you can have the minutes from the previous meeting. I think that tells us everything, and that's all there is. But I can't respond to you as a special citizen. Otherwise, everybody would ask for a special response, and I just can't do it. But I think we've answered your question fairly, and I did everything I could to show you the law that we followed. If you can show me that I followed the wrong law, I'll make those changes.
I have not seen anything.
2 attorneys told me I followed the proper law. So I know we can send you a copy, and you'll do that again. A copy of, again, it's a very short act. You can read it, and you'll have no trouble with it.
I've already read it.
Okay, all right. So if you can show us where we did not follow the law, and even the borough code, there's nothing in there that says about the appointment. It does talk about the appointment of councilors, but it does not say anything about the appointment of somebody to BCIMA, to an authority. So that's why I have to defer to this one as the governing body.
And how are councilors on the water board?
Nothing says they can't be.
Excuse me?
According to 1801, it states very clearly that you cannot have 2 elected. When you voted for him to be on, you were voting because you represent us, the electorate. And you voted, so that means the appointment is an elected position because you elected as councilors. You voted for that person to go on.
I know. I don't know exactly what section. I can't find it right away.
But that's what I added here. I did, under the right to know law, I went to see the minutes, and the scope of my request was from January 1st, 2016 to December 2017. 2 years, just to get a feel. And I found there that there are councilors on from 2 different jurisdictions. And that I don't think we're represented at all. Because out of 24 months, the counselor that's on there was absent 16 times.
Who are you talking about, Jack?
Didn't show up to the meetings. And that is listed in here as a finding of
I
fact.
can't do anything about that. That has nothing to do with me. You're gonna have to take that up and, if we'll have to vote on these people in 5 years and we'll look at that and we'll say Jack never shows. Maybe we shouldn't vote for Jack.
Who
He's on
is-
there for 5 years right now and that's it.
Who is on now?
Jack, Barbie, and Mike. You have 3 of them right here that are representing Coalport Borough. I'm real pleased with the representation we have myself. And as far as from what I see here, you are aware because this borough has less than 3,000 people that there's lots of exceptions made, and you can hold dole offices.
The only exception in 801
That's what I'm looking
is D, which says if your population is less than 150 people, then you can do exceptions. But I've seen several reports. There's like 400. One census said we have 525 people. Another census said we have. So I just quoted in my documents that it was 480, plus or minus.
Sherry, what you're looking at, that has to do with residency.
That's right, eligibility.
No, you have to live in the borough a year before you can be a counselor. We're talking about counselors here, not appointing to BCIMA. The rules are totally different.
But
Look, we can't argue the law here. I'm not going to keep them here all night.
Okay.
All I say, we've had,
BCIMA, an elected position when we're appointed by council.
you're
to do
fine.
that.
You're, as far as I know, you're fine. I'll look through it. But
Well,
anyway,
thank you,
it's
Mr.
beyond
President,
our
for
scope.
the privilege to speak
Well,
before
thank you.
council.
Sorry we couldn't satisfy you with this, but we did the best we could.
Okay. My biggest fear is this. When I first had the opportunity to buy the water company, it was advertised. I talked to Mr. Sojak, and a bunch of us got together, and we were going to sell shares of the whole, so that we could have the water company as a community. Because my fear is that American Waters will come in and somehow buy the water, and then we won't own the water anymore. But then Mr. Leitner came and worked with us, and then he said that we ought to let it go into a BCI municipal authority.
Again, all that is done, and it's well beyond the scope of this council.
Okay.
I can't do anything about that.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Hey, you can just call me Paul. We're pretty informal here, Jerry.
Well, I wanted to show respect.
You're very respectful.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thanks, Jerry.
do we have a motion to? Is there any other more business? Motion to adjourn. Do we have a second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all. Thank you all for coming. See what you got yourself into?
Thank you for being a part of the council meeting tonight. If you would please take the opportunity now to consider these questions. Who has precedence? The PA Borough Code or the Municipal Authorities Act, when the borough elects a person upon the Water Authority Board? Was it morally, ethical, or lawful for the borough to elect an appointee who is a non-resident, non-elector to a position on the municipal authority when there are 525 credible individuals in the borough of Coalport? These are two questions. If you would like to respond to these, you're going to see on the screen visionpress@windstream.net. Please send your answers or opinions or comments to the email address on the screen. And thank you so much for being a part of the council meeting that was held on March the 5th, 2018. Have a great night.